praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessings, blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Hey, good evening and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Village Radio Talk Show. I am Roderick Daly, your host. Joining me is our illustrious Dr. John L. Sampson, better known as Dr. John Llewellyn Sampson, joining us right here on the Village Radio Talk Show, where we are dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today. Where success is not just spoken, it is done. What are you doing to be successful? Good afternoon, Andre. How is everything going? You're muted.
Life is airy.
Life is airy. You look like you didn't go to work today. You're showing off your muscles. Is there?
I'm good otherwise, man. I went to work, you know.
Oh, I just came home and relaxing.
That's the aim, man.
Excellent. Dr. John L. Sampson, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Blessed, highly favored. Blessed and highly favored.
Much appreciated. We have so many things to talk about today. I can't even, we can't even get around to having our little chit chat because there's so much going on. But before I do that, I just want to offer a set of condolences to my new friend, Monica Walker. She lost her brother, just buried her brother recently. So our condolences, actually with pancreatic cancer. She buried him recently. So I want to say that. Also on Monday is my cousin Marvel's birthday. And Carla, happy birthday to Carla McKenzie, who is also one of our avid listeners.
Also, happy birthday to my niece Christy. I think her birthday's today.
Right. All right. And I know my friend Arj from Donkey, as her birthday is coming up next week. So happy birthday to her as well. And if as we come in through and we remember any birthday, just throw it in there. And just, happy birthday to all of our family and friends out there. So there's so many, we have two guests on today, and there's so many things that we want to talk about. First, I want to start off with George Santos. He's back in the air. John, you could shoot me down. If you think that we need to hit something else, we hit it. But I wanted to start off with George Santos. And the reason why I want to start off with it, John, it goes back to what you and I are constantly saying, how the Democrats don't stick together, and the Republicans, through thick and thin, they remain loyal to each other. Because President Trump just pardoned former Representative George Santos, didn't pardon him, but he commuted his sentence, which basically is essentially the same thing.
Not the same thing, it's a difference, brother.
Well, there is a difference, but essentially he doesn't have to spend any time in jail.
That's the bottom line, yeah.
Yeah. Pardon just basically means that it's erased from his record, while commuting means whatever time served, you don't spend no more, but it's still on your record,
Correct.
right? And I guess there's also some injunction or something that where he doesn't have to no restitution for all that money that he essentially stole from people. Although I don't know if he stole it, right? I don't know if I would say he stole it. I would say
He obtained it under false pretenses.
yes, he obtained it under false pretenses because he did use it to.
He swindled them. He swindled them.
I wouldn't. I don't know if he swindled though, John. Because
If you receive money under false pretenses, what do you think? If I'm telling you one thing and I'm gonna know what's that, brother? I'm swindling you out of your money.
But I don't. The reason why I'm like saying it's not swindling is because he used it for his congressional run, right? He used it for his.
He used it under the question, knowing that he didn't have the qualifications to run.
Well, I get that, right? I get that too. So yeah, either way, it was dirty. Whether he swindled, whether he robbed, whether he, whatever he did, it was horrible. But the Republicans still stuck with him, and the president.
Marjorie Taylor Greene stuck with him, pushed the president to commute his sentence. Can't hear you, my brother.
Right. No. I'm just saying it's just, and we pushed so many. We pushed Eric Adams out of office. We pushed Andrew Cuomo out of office. We pushed Al Franken out of office. We pushed so many. We just like, hey, let's push everybody out of office. And up till this moment, when he was dead wrong, they still look to commute his sentence, and he doesn't have to pay in the restitution. I don't know.
Well, we, as Democrats, we always play that we're so high and mighty and we are so moral, but we engage into the same thing that Trump engages in, weaponization of the Department of Justice. That happened against, Mayor Adams, and now it's happening against Tish James, the Attorney General James, and everybody's in the uproar. And it shouldn't happen to her either. It's about elected officials, administrations, using the Department of Justice to weaponizing against their political enemies. And at that point in time, Adams, Mayor Adams was a political enemy of the Biden administration. Now, Attorney General James is, an adversary to the Trump President Trump administration. So, both parties do it, but however, Republicans have a sense of solidarity as opposed to the Democrats, who always want to be high and mighty, but they fail to realize they go through the same thing, but they don't give any. They talk a good game, everybody's innocent till proven guilty. So if that's the case, and back off, let the investigations go, and then we make a decision. No, first thing out everybody's mouth is resign, 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 resign. They don't want to be tainted. They don't want to be tainted. They don't want to be tainted with anything questionable. How will the Republicans accept it? We are all human. It happens. You know what? Let the facts, let the justice systems work its way out. But this is the Democrats are all high and mighty until they go through the same situation.
I want to add something to it. There's a component of the media push, right? And the media's push is negative. How the Democrat put into place.
Well, who controls the media, my friend?
No.
The media?
What I'm saying is, hold on. What I'm saying is, like, the Democrat pushed the media and pushed the narrative in the media to get rid of their own people, while the Republicans push in the media their thing to get rid of the Democrat or to keep their. The
Democrats are in collaboration with the media, while the Republicans push back against the media and control the narrative.
Exactly.
Democrats allow the media to control the narrative. Republicans control the narrative, and the media has to catch up to them.
And it's sad. It's real. It's not helpful for for the American people. It's not helpful for the Democratic Party as a whole.
You good, Roger?
He on the phone, it seems.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Andre, to skip to the Santos situation. What about this whole NBA stuff, man?
Yo, I saw the quick, recap on that, and I was like, I mean, this happens so much often, but for it to blow up and come out like that, yeah, gambling,
But the investigation going on for years now, with
yeah,
respect to sports gambling, because at the time they're talking about the Chauncey Billups, who's the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. He was already a retired ball player at that point in time, when they talked about which he's engaging in these illegal poker games. And Terry Rozier, he was cleared. They did some investigation by the NBA, and he was cleared. And now, this whole thing. But then the other one, I think it was Jones, Adam Jones, or something like that.
Damon Jones.
David Jones, he was a teammate of LeBron
Damon.
James, and also a coach. David Jones. He was providing confidential inside information to bettors to bet on these games. That's a problem. That's a problem to do that. But the question, what was interesting is I was listening to the NBA, where you have Charles Barkley, Shaq, Ernie Davis, and you had the Jet Kenny, and they just talked about this whole thing where these players we have all this huge amounts of money, and to really engage in some sort of gambling like that, where they may make a $50,000 or $100,000, when you are making 26 million, you're making $30 million. The question, Kenny the Jet Smith said, it's more of an addiction that these people have, because you're not winning a lot, you're making a lot of money, but this is pittance to what you're making. But then Chuck was like, nah, this is, you can't blame it on the addiction. The question is this an addiction, or this is hubris? Your arrogance, thinking you're not going to get caught. You figure you're bigger than whoever it is, and that you can play. You don't have to play by the books. So that's the question. Is this whole gambling, is it an addiction, or it's just the arrogance and the privilege of these professional athletes? But remember, there's only a few of those athletes involved in this. The rest are organized crime figures. So
it is hubris, really, because I mean, the more you do something like that, I mean, you do it the one time, you're like, all right, cool, I didn't get caught. Let me try and make some more and see what happens. And you start making so much, you're like, oh, I still haven't gotten caught yet. Let me keep doing this. And
so you think that, or you think it's an addiction, Andre? Could it be somebody who's just addictive to that?
I think it's greed. It's part of the greed. Like I want more. It's just not satisfying. I think the what's the word I'm looking for? There's a adrenaline rush to this, right? You're doing it, you're enjoying it, not getting caught, and the knowingness that this is not right to do, and still getting away with it is like, yeah,
well, check it. Carlton. He was on sports radio, and he got caught with a whole big ticket scam. He eventually went to jail. Craig Carlton, and his thing was he used to bet on everything. He says it's an addiction. He had money too. He has money too. But the question is this an addiction, or is this or someone's arrogance or hubris?
I think, John, it's a combination of both, right?
Yeah.
It's a combination of both, right? So what I mean by that is, like, we all have vices, right? Everybody has their vices, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question is your vice an addiction or your arrogance. And I think it's a combination of both because, hey, you might have gotten away with one, but you like it, right? You like it and you like the feeling you get from it, the high you get from it, right? So you do it, but it's not necessarily because you feel like you're going to get away with it for life, but it's just like you enjoy, you enjoy the moment, like you enjoy the passion, you enjoy and sometimes when you're doing something, you're not thinking of the repercussions of that at that activity when you're in the middle of it. It's after you sit back and you do it, right? And then you do it again. Like I see a lot of guys gambling on dominoes. I see they're arguing, they get into arguments, they get into fights, but they still go back and play, right? And they want to play. I've made it, when I play dominoes, I make a conscious decision that I don't bet on dominoes. I don't gamble, right? You never can get me to sit down at a table and say, yo, let's play $5 a game, $2 a pass, or every game is $20, right? That's not going to happen. But there's some people who love the high. It has nothing to do with arrogance, right? And sometimes you're right, John. I'm above the law, like President Trump. I think that President Trump gets high from seeing himself in the media, right, with some of the stuff that we think are like cockamamie stuff. Like, how could he do that? But he probably loves seeing his name.
He does. Yeah. You can tell he does, man. This man get a rise. You get a rise of making people react. I mean, even when he talks about how China being hostile, talking about the Zelensky, talking about all of the leaders in different countries. It's just like, my dude, it likes to see the market shake up too. We can see what he's like to such a point, and I think if we've seen how he is, then we should also be able to say, okay, then I'm going to, and this is like if it's regarding investing and all that, I kind of just went to that way, but knowing how he is and knowing how to invest in terms of how he responds to certain things, but to the point of just addiction or hubris, getting a rise from it, and he does those things.
Damon Jones, right? Damon Jones, who you're talking about, the former teammate coach of LeBron James. To me, that could be him thinking it's a quick way to make $100,000, because that person probably betted $1 million and change, and he looked at it as a quick way to make a quick buck. That's off the books, right? Giving an assignment to somebody because, hey, I might need $100,000 to pay for a car, pay for this, pay for that, and I think I could get away with it. So maybe that might be arrogance, or you're from the hood and you're trying to make a fast dollar. That happens, to a lot of us. Again, everyone, please just subscribe, hit the like button on our program. And thank you for everyone who's tuned in. Thank you, all the villagers. You make the show happen. And we appreciate you. And we thank you for all that you do to make the Village Radio Talk Show special every year. Right now, we're talking about the scandalous rock in the NBA and the sports world with the insider betting, the same thing that banned Pete Rose for life from baseball, same type of thing, which is betting on insider on baseball, point shaving, whatever you want to call it. A lot of NBA players, former NBA players, current NBA players, coaches, who all got caught up in the scheme. And I think Andre and Dr. John, they're wondering, is it arrogance or is it an addiction? And I just feel like it's both, right? So we have that. I think I don't know if we're allowed to ask our guest that's coming on with the junior NBA. We'll find out from him if we could ask him that question. But but there are a lot of things going on. John, there's a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip,
Right.
right? But someone, right? Israel still fired missile into people. Israel still fired into the Gaza Strip, right? And to me, what's the purpose of ceasefire? Like, you don't have control of your army to allow that ceasefire to happen. So I'm just curious, why have a ceasefire and still continue war and killing innocent people? And if you're anti-Semitic,
that's an issue.
that's an issue.
That is definitely an issue.
And I think President Trump, this is one of his staple accomplishment, right? That he stopped the war in the Gaza Strip that started under Joseph Biden. But then that's a taint on his record. I mean, and I didn't hear any admonishment of Israel to break the ceasefire and shooting missiles into the Gaza Strip. I'm very disappointed with that. While at the same time, that young man who they're trying to deport from the United States, I think he went to Colombia.
Garcia?
No, the young man, the Muslim guy who spoke out, who was here as a student and has a permanent. He was not a citizen, but he married a citizen, and they're trying to deport him because he spoke up against Israel and against the war in Palestine.
Right.
So they're still trying to deport him. While we're on the subject of deporting him, we just segue right to one of the next topics, which is what's going on Canal Street in New York City. Shut down Manhattan yesterday, lower Manhattan by Canal Street with the ICE agents. And also they want to put a legislation in to charge ICE agents with frivolous attacking of American citizens. All of those jumbled together, John. Lead the way. Andre, lead the way. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to hear what you guys got to say.
Well, Andre, I'll let you take the lead. Yeah, Andre.
So, yeah, I'm not familiar with what the ICE stuff is that happened in Canal Street.
Well, basically, there was an ICE raid on Canal Street to, I guess, those Asian Americans
and Africans. Don't forget that, because a lot
and
of
Africans
yeah.
who engaged. But before that, there was a conservative social influencer who was on TikTok or whatever and talked about the issue. Oh, look what's going on Canal Street. Subsequently, the next day, that's when this raid took place. The architect of all of this is Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is behind the policy of the Department of Homeland Security to round up, I'm talking about thousands of immigrants per month to get them deported. And at first, everybody was on the bandwagon, including myself, when Trump was talking about getting rid of the most dangerous criminals, those immigrants who are creating chaos to our criminals, creating chaos and crime involved in our criminal justice system. We all agree, I think everybody would agree to that. But it went a step further. Those people who are honest, people who are working, who now undocumented, but have been here for a while, the INS is aware of them, tell them to come in to follow up. You have to come in and check up, to do that voluntarily, and then to be taken into custody by us. That's just not right. That's just not morally right. Legally right, can they do that? Yes, but just morally, especially those who are doing something positive. So the tide has changed because, Stephen Miller wants a certain number of people to be in ICE custody per month. They want to exceed what Obama did. And I really think that's unfair. A lot of those who supported Trump and whose family members have been deported, they're like, what's going on here? So you just got to be careful what you ask for. And the policy needs to be a little bit more detailed as to what exactly are you going. If he told the public that this is what he was going to do, the public would not have been in support of what's going on now.
Actually, I don't know, John. Well, let me get Andre say something first, and I'll come back to it. Andre,
I have no comment for this one.
Right. All right, no problem. So, here, I think people knew, because I've been thinking about Project 2025, right?
Right.
Project 2025 is about making America pure again,
Mm-hmm.
right? Pure. Well, and then obviously, let's not go through what does it mean to be pure again, because pure again would bring back all the Native Americans and leave out everybody else, right? Go back pre 1608, where they landed on Plymouth Rock, right? And so the Native people are Native Americans, but they want to go and say they want to make America white. Hi, Janice. Thank you for joining us. Good night to you too as well. And good night again to all the visitors. Please hit the like button, the love button. Continue to like our show. Let us know what's going on and the likes. But Project 2025 is about making America white. Making America white, and everything that any race has done to make a better life for themselves, they need to remove that and give everything back to the white folks, because that's why America would be great. And take away all of the contributions of any other race in the United States. That's a problem. So it's not like the people didn't know the intent of the immigration laws. They knew.
Hey, welcome, Janice. Welcome, Betty. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Deirdre, how you doing? And Deirdre said he told us what he was going to do, which is correct. So I don't buy that, John. I don't buy that people didn't know today, because we were talking about it on the Village Radio Talk Show. We were, before he got elected. So we tried.
Roger, we knew that. We tried to explain it to our people, but
yes, and they didn't listen. Right? Oh, you know what's the big answer? He can't do that. Right?
Yep.
Right now, people talk about he can't get a third term. He is working on getting the third term.
He's working on people saying, yeah, put a referendum on the ballot. We want a third term. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly. So everything that people are saying he can't, he put John, you talked about it a lot. Judges are important. The federal judges he has control over, and he has appointed nothing but 98% or 99% of all 96% of all judges that he has appointed are white males, conservative white males, and a limited amount of white females. The Supreme Court is now 6-3, and they're rolling back on so many rights.
They're rolling back on so many precedents.
Right?
Precedents, right?
Rights, precedent, laws, any way you want to look at it, that was established more than 7 or 8 decades ago, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000,
right?
The 10s, the 20s. So more than 7 decades ago,
Mm-hmm.
8 decades ago, when you look at the Brown versus Board of Education, right? You understand what I'm saying? So he has put that into place. So I don't understand what people are talking about. Right? Now you fear of what? Fear of what you have created? You created it. By not voting, like we say, John, apathy to voting, or voting directly for Donald Trump.
Our guest is here, by the way. First guest here.
Who's that?
Council
member?
Yep.
Oh, well, let's get him on because we have to get both guests on today. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
I hate to tell you my second favorite city council member. You know, my second. I got to give my council member Farrah Lois. You know, I got to give her a little. But it's a close second though. It ain't that far.
Well, listen, you're a master at the English language, so you should say one of.
Hey, I'm not gonna. I only got two. I got you and I got her.
Oh, well, you got okay. I got you. All right.
Right,
Well, I'm glad to be in one of the numbers.
Right. Exactly. You know.
Hey, what do they call it? What do they call it? This is a ranked choice or whatever it is.
See, with ranked choice, the both of them, I can't do ranked choice because I don't want none of them to lose. I want both of them to be in office, right? So I don't know about no ranked choice voting because once somebody got to lose, you do ranked choice. How you doing, Council Member Chris Banks? How's everything doing? Representing 42nd? No, what was it? I forgot.
42nd Council Matter District.
Which one?
The 42nd Council.
42nd. That's what I say. 42nd. Good. Right. How you doing? And welcome again back to the Village Radio Talk Show.
I appreciate. Thank you for having me on. Sorry for being a little tardy. I was doing a couple of Zooms tonight with a couple of HOAs and block associations. So to talk about the ballot questions and
yeah, that's primarily why we have you on, to talk about what's going on in New York City, what's going on in New York State. I know you can't. Some of those ballot questions, they're not really within your purview, but you can still talk about them for a little bit. But let's talk about the primary ones that you want to talk about. Ballot proposal, ladies and gentlemen. We were just talking about it, council member, which is people sometimes just look at the names on the ballot and don't look at the top heavy names on the ballot: the mayor, the governor, the president, the senator. But then look at the small names or the charter revision. In this case, there's 6 proposals on the ballot. Let's dig into 2, 3, and 4.
Well, I mean, to lump them all together, 2, 3, and 4 basically deals with land use matters. The way the language reads, it's talking about fast tracking of building affordable housing or building housing throughout New York City. And we believe these ballot questions, and which were created through the Mayor's Commission, will be detrimental to communities throughout the entire city. Because what they don't mention when they use the word fast tracking, it takes power away from the local community, your elected city council member, and the local community board. What the mayor has said on many occasions is that the community boards and council members have stood in the way of building housing throughout the city. And we agree with him. We have stood in the way. And the reason why we've stood in the way is because local communities should determine what type of housing is built in their community. And even when you have council members, and I know they've said, well, you know, there's some council districts that haven't built any affordable housing in their districts. What they call them NIMBYs, not in my backyard. But the council, there's a check and balance that exists already, where member deference, which is a power, it's a power. It's like I guess let's say like a tradition, unspoken power that exists in the council, that each council member can basically kill a development project. And this particular power has checks. The council can override it collectively, like we did that in Simca Felder's district just 2 weeks ago at a stated meeting, where there was a housing project. It was senior housing, about 150, 200 units. Simca was against it. His local community said they didn't want it because it was dense. It was going to change the character of the community height. They made all hosts of complaints. But as the council, we said collectively that this was in the best interest of the entire city to provide housing to seniors. So we overrode him. Councilmember Marmorato up in the Bronx, there was a supportive housing project. Her district has no supportive housing, and it was housing for the formerly incarcerated, but specifically for formerly incarcerated folks who are coming out of jail, who basically have it was going to be kind of like a hospice. These are folks who are coming out of jail, but they are about to die, and they need a place to live. We overrode it, and we moved the project forward and approved it. So there's been many instances where we've approved housing throughout the city, and also too, 93% of all land use applications that have come before the city council have been approved, but they've been approved with the conditions and the modifications that came from the council member, and along with the input from local community boards, local community-based organizations, constituents, and those applications have been approved. And
You know, Chris, just to jump in on that, I just jump on that. You know, I agree with you. You know, I think a lot of frustration comes with not so much the community board holding things up, but the DOB and HPD. The process is so daunting, and they take so long to get some of these projects built. And I think that's the frustration. That's the hidden frustration behind everything. Meaning that you go to DOB, and DOB, you go through 2 audits of DOB, and you pass these 2 audits. Then all of a sudden, at some point in time, HBD rears its head and say, oh, there's supposed to be affordable housing piece. However, DOB never told you there was supposed to be an affordable housing piece. Now your whole project, you're 95% done, and all of a sudden they come in and say everything is on hold. So I think the frustration is not so much with the community board, but I think it's the process. And I think we need to, those people need to be, educate more about the process, because DOB and HPD can hold up these projects for a long period of time, which leads to the frustration. My second thing is with the community boards. Always want the community boards involved, but some of these community boards, they take it to the extreme. You go to the land use, and then you got to go to another committee. Then they're not having a committee vote. Next thing you know, we'll do it the next month, and it's just going on and delays. So I think that's what's a lot of frustration, and I think with maybe the mayor, but their office is to deal with every damn thing.
Roger, you're on mute, brother.
Yeah.
You're on mute again, Roger.
One of the things, right, that I hear exactly what John is saying, right? Because some community boards do struggle with quorum and getting things done. But the most important point of this, regardless of the community board sometimes not hit that number where to move on, I think there should be things into play that gives the executive board, which is one of the things I want to do for my community board, put the executive board in a position where they can vote on certain issues. But the community needs to have a voice, right? Whether or not, like Councilmember Banks said, in two similar cases, they overrode what the city council said, what the members in that community, and there's more than one examples of such. And he and I went over the conversation about certain community where they don't want where they want certain things. But the bottom line is, when you start taking away in 1989, when the law came into place to put the charter revision, not the law, but the charter revision came into place 35 years ago, because there was a lack of community input in terms of what was happening. And so we are reminding people that, you know, if you remove this opportunity, then you will lose the opportunity, right? So it took 36 years. And then, like, the mayor's like, you know, it's kind of like how we gave mayoral control and got rid of the school boards. And although there were some issues with the school board, instead of trying to fix the problem, they remove the ability of the individuals to make decisions, right, about their own community, right? You know, kudos to Eric Adams. He's one of the few mayors that actually go around the city. But when, take for example, Bloomberg, I invited Bloomberg one time with Rickford Burke. I know you know who Rickford Burke is, John. In his early years of when he was mayor. They don't live in the community and they're making decisions about the community without the input of the community. And that's where my concern is. That's why I tell people, I'd rather err on the side of voting no, to give them a voice and hold them accountable for that vote no, than to take away their voice. I remember, unfortunately, I hate to say it, and it's a problem, Chris, and I bring it up all the time. We are reactive, not proactive, right? That's the community we live in. Reactive, not proactive. So we, as people who make the decisions, have to say, hey, vote no, let your voices be heard, but you got to make sure that your voice is heard.
Right.
You know, that's how, you know, is people have to remember. Last week, John, we spoke about what's the most important voice you got as an American citizen, and it's your voice to vote. If you don't utilize that voice, you're gonna be mad as hell when you can't get it.
That's true.
And so this, I think, you know, voting no is a great opportunity for individuals to understand what needs to happen under their own.
Let me just also add that this is not about one particular mayor, even though this mayor has decided to create this commission and put forth these ballot questions. But this is about throwing all this power towards the executive branch. And this will have long-lasting effects. So, of course, if you heard at the debate yesterday, the only Curtis Lewa was the only one that came out and said he doesn't support the ballot questions. Zoran, he said he hadn't read them, he hasn't come out with a position. Governor Cuomo said he supports them, right? Well,
I think, you know, I think more so, if you're going to give it to the executives, then if you're even going to talk about giving to the executives, you need to revamp the Department of Buildings and HPD, because they cause so much delays in the process of getting things built. You know, if you're going to think about it, if you're going to try to exclude, I mean, you're going to expedite to what extent? Because I believe the community board needs to have definitely needs to have input. But I think, you know, but sometimes, Christian, you know, some of these community boards play politics with what it is also.
They do.
So, you know, it's the same thing with the school boards. When they had the school boards around, it becomes,
the mayor picks politics. The mayor picks the developers he wants. You know, there's some developers that will tell you they're on a shit list.
Right.
They can't get any projects through. There's always a fight with what projects they're going to do in this particular community or this part of the city. It's always hyper political. We had to fight just to make sure that A.R. Bernard's project got the necessary funding that was committed to them, because there was politics being played by the chair of the land use committee, who wanted, he was running for borough president, he was putting on hold a lot of projects in other boroughs, and he wanted to build more housing, more projects being built in the Bronx, and that came to light. And thank God you had council members who said, nah, this project has been in the works, it has the commitments, we need to move forward. So
That's what it is, man. That's the disheartening thing about it, man. You know, it's just the politics, something that's really good, and all of a sudden you just play the politics, and then just to prevent communities from getting their just due. So that's what that's why you do need community input on these projects. I believe so. You do need community, you do, but also you need to go in these agencies and just revamp the time frame in which it costs to build some of these projects.
I think that's where I agree with you, John. I do think that the project takes 5 to 7 months. Like right now, we're trying to do, for example, our office, that's not along the same lines, but not along the same as in building, going through ULURP and stuff, right? But we're moving the community board, and the project is taking 6, 7, 8. The expected due date on the project is at 2 years down the road. And so it's like,
are y'all building something, or
no, we're not building, we're just moving
into a rental space?
Right.
Okay.
And it's going to take approximately 2 years to get it done. And that's what you're talking about, John, in terms of time, right? And they have to do better with streamlining the amount of time it takes things done. It gets to the community board, 30 days, you do your ULURP process, you move on. It takes 30 to 40 days to get it done at the next level, blah, 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 blah. But it shouldn't take 5 to 7 months to come to a decision on whether or not a project is good for a community or not.
And this is, and I think what John is talking about, this is after it's gone through the ULURP process. And once we know that projects have been approved by the council, and finance is taking its time, buildings, HPD, and it added on maybe an extra 6 months or a year onto the project, and that has happened. So that's really the chief executive of the city, along with the city council, and I think there can be some legislative fixes to that. And the administration it has to be willing to work with the council to come up with some ways to kind of streamline that, and so we can build.
I think, Chris, you're right. That's the frustration with government, is the time that it takes to get things done.
Right.
You know, because you have some elected officials, their offices. We all know constituent service is so important. Really just trying to take care of those core basic issues for our constituents. But then sometimes it just takes so long when you're dealing with these city agencies to get things done. And I think that leads to the frustration with the people in our community. East New York, Brownsville. It just takes so long to get things, very basic things done, unless our elected officials. But then what, Chris, then council member, what then you have to worry about is you always got, it's unfortunate, you always got the feds around, sniffing around to see if you're moving a project for something. You're doing basically what you are elected to do, to get these things done. So, you got, as an elected official, you got to worry about that now. Like, how are they going to see the same person that, called me and I helped them do one thing. Next thing you know, they show up at a fundraising. What do I, it's just the climate that we're in, man.
Right. I agree with you on that. sometimes everything is, the relationships are very close. And if a developer shows up at a fundraiser, donates to your campaign, doesn't mean it's tied to the project. The project is going through the process. You're moving it along because that's what the community wants. They want the housing project built. It doesn't mean you're doing it because of a donation or what the. So and sometimes you have those situations where you get that scrutiny, which takes away. It's a distraction. But
it's so real quick. There are a couple of other ballot proposals. I know that's not your forte, but especially 5 and 6. Especially a no for 5 and 6. 5 will cost about 37,000 jobs from DC 37. We never want to see people losing their jobs.
You said 37,000?
Yeah, about 37 DC 37 person.
3,700 or 37,000.
I believe it's 37,000, not hundreds. Question: do you guys think Trump is going to start a war with the Caribbean island?
I don't think so.
I know it's not the topic, but I've been saying that he wants a war. I know it's not a topic, Chris, and you really don't have to comment on it because of your position, if you choose to. And I know it's not what we're talking about the ballot proposals, but I would say up front that he has already hinted that he needs to have a war to stay in power. Will it be the Caribbean? Would it be a lesser island, lesser country? He's doing
the Benjamin
Netanyahu approach to staying in power. That's what Benjamin Netanyahu did. He started war in the Gaza Strip so he could win that election. I don't know.
Well,
that's a different answer. Yeah, council member.
The thing about it is that he won't be able to run for president again. So, I mean, to wag the tail or to provoke Venezuela into some type of war. I mean, it would be.
Hey, we hope, Chris. Where it's going with that Supreme Court? Who the hell knows?
and our best friend Clarence Thomas,
I don't know what to say with this guy, but going to war with Venezuela, it would be a waste of resources, a waste of time. I think they can continue to go after the drug lords and do it from a strategic, how they've been blowing up the ships, but they need to do that legally because we are a nation of law and order, and you can't just they're not even identifying the people that they're killing, and there's no type of reporting back to proper reporting back to Congress to say, well, this is what's going on. It's like they're just moving and taking actions. And I think this brings into question what they call the War Powers Act, where the president has to report back to Congress once he takes
so they can rubber stamp it. Noon and Johnson, so they could just rubber stamp it.
Johnson say,
well, at least there'll be some debate, and they would have to vote on a resolution, and at least Congress will be playing its role. But
good luck with that.
You're right.
We got a few minutes left. So tell us, you have an election coming up, right?
I have an election coming. I don't have a credible candidate that's running against me. I have somebody that's running against me on the Freedom Party line. Mm-hmm. So we look forward to seeing them on the ballot come November, and I look forward to the people putting me back in to represent them in the halls of government and the city hall. So, but our focus is on the ballot questions, because these questions will definitely, if they are affirmed, they will definitely be detrimental to our community.
All right, I want you to answer this question carefully. I want you to think about it before you answer it. In 2023, you beat the machine. When you woke up and you found out that you beat the machine and you're now the city council elect, tell me something. Just between me and you and everybody watching.
In between you and everybody else. All right, give me a break, man.
Look at you, you giggling. You're giggling. How did it feel? How did it feel? Tell me. How did it feel?
It felt amazing, man. It was a lot of work I had put into it, so I was tired actually.
Yeah.
I slept like 2 days straight, and my phone I was getting calls from all over. The media wanted to interview, but it was definitely it was a shocker. I mean, to be honest, I think 9 o'clock came and we saw the margin to continue to grow. We knew the first dump was from early voting, and it was a 200-300 vote lead. And my campaign staff, while I was out in the streets, they're texting me saying, "I don't think Charles is going to make this make these votes up. It's like you're gonna win this." And I said, "Well, it ain't over. We gotta see. We gotta see.
You gotta wait. Yeah. You know, I was telling somebody when my cousin called, Narrow, and he called and he's like, "Yo, I got this guy that you need to support."
No, Narelle, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, I got this guy you need to support." I was like, I feel you. I feel. Yeah, one of a very good decision, I would say. Right,
Well,
very good decision.
We appreciate the opportunity to get to be able to represent the district. So
Yeah, you know.
and one thing, and I'll say this too. One thing this position has taught me is that it doesn't belong to anyone.
Yep.
And any day of time you can lose an election. So you don't take things for granted, and because you don't want to be the council member standing in the parking lot saying, "I wish I didn't go out this way." And that's what my predecessor told one of my colleagues, Bob Holden. He said Charles told him, "I wish I didn't go out this way." And that was the end of that. That was the close of that chapter. Well, the close of that story.
So I'm excited, for you. Just saying, everyone, please get out, vote no. Vote no on the proposals. One is a toss up. I know some of the state officials are asking people to vote yes.
Yes.
Right on number one, but 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Statewide initiative
is definitely a no. The last 5 on that. So tell me, we got a couple of minutes. I don't see all the guests coming up yet, so we got a couple of minutes. Tell me what's doing the 42nd. I know you have a lot to do. I know you've been going across the district. Like, I don't know if you get sleep, but
sleep.
Yeah.
We got some stuff we're doing. So we're offering services for veterans. The first Friday of every month, we have the New York City Department of Veteran Services comes to the office, and no appointments. You can just come in at 1199 Elton between hours of 10 to 4:30. And they're dealing with health benefits, dependent benefits, education benefits, a whole bunch of services and benefits that veterans are not taking advantage of. So we're encouraging folks to come on out to that and take advantage of that. And also, too, we're reminding folks, too, that the garbage cans that you purchased from the city due to the containerization law that was passed, that if you purchase them from the Department of Sanitation, you're going to get automatic reimbursement. And if you purchase the garbage cans from Home Depot, you need to provide a receipt to sanitation to be able to get reimbursed. And I guess the last thing.
Wait. Can you repeat what you just said about the reimbursement?
So, the reimbursement, if you purchase the New York City garbage can or garbage can from the Department of Sanitation, you will automatically get a reimbursement or reimbursed. If you purchased your garbage cans from Home Depot, you will have to just provide the receipt, just showing the transaction, and sanitation will reimburse you. They'll have a website where you submit that documentation. And now, if you got your garbage can free from a government official, well, you won't get no reimbursement.
So let me ask you a question, though. That's a good question. What about people who didn't get their garbage can yet? Can they apply, and how would they apply for free garbage can?
Well, I mean, you would have to have an elected official that will have to purchase garbage cans and give them out free. But other than that, now you would have to purchase your garbage cans from sanitation, or you purchase it from Home Depot.
Okay, all right. Right. I want to ask you about, I'm always interested in the parks and the part of my district that we overlap. And my favorite park. Oh wait, before I forget,
Railroad
Park. Well, we don't call it Railroad Park, do we? Call it Ditmas Park. Right. Before I go back, the red, blue flyer. You know what I'm talking about with proposals 2, 3, and 4?
Yes.
Someone was asking me, actually, Carrie Edwards was asking, because you wanted to put that out there for his show on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was asking me about how would he get his hands on one of those one pager.
Oh, I can get it to him. I got a digital copy. Something like that.
Yeah, that. Can you also send that to me too as well, so I can send it out to people within my reach base as well, so that we can tell them how to vote. So if you can,
we got this one too.
Yeah, I like the red one though. The red one is more visible.
The red one is what? Yeah, this is the palm card.
Yeah, the palm card. That's better for us. So tell me about Railroad Park. What's going on with that?
So Railroad Park, according to the numbers we got from the Parks Department, the capital need is $19.5 million.
Wow.
To do the 3 phases. And I got these estimations, these numbers from Parks within the last briefing they gave me, which was the 2025 briefing at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So my goal, my aim in this budget coming up is to basically secure that $20 million. So it's gonna take some my relationships, so hopefully the new next speaker coming in, and hopefully whoever the next mayor is gonna come in, because I'm gonna need mayoral money, and I'm gonna need some speaker money, and I'm gonna not tap into my own capital pot, but I'm gonna try to see if the speaker can give. But if they can't give the whole 20 million, if they can give 10, if I can get 10 this year and 10 the next year, I'll take that. We'll piecemeal it. But we know that the park is in badly need of.
We need some new rooms, man, and the handball court looks terrible.
Well, I believe that's part of everything that from the document that I looked at. That's part of everything that will be included. But I think we may have to revisit, do like a visioning of how the park should look. But once the money is secured,
a rendition of something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was something else. A quick. Because our second guest is here, and I want to make sure we give him some time as well to have a comment. Where's your office? How to get in touch with you? Tell us a little bit. Where do you represent, so people know who are watching, or they have friends and family that live there? Tell them a little bit where your office is, and all that good stuff.
Represent the 42nd Council District. It comprises of East New York, Brownsville, Canarsie, East Flatbush, and Remsen Village. And my office is located at 1199 Elton, between Schroeder's and Vandalia. And the office hours are Monday to Friday, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And my office hours are from Monday to Sunday, 24/7.
I know, right? Because I told you I keep seeing you on the street. Our new. Actually, I want you to just say hi to our new guest before you log off. Right, our guest. Just say hi to him right before we log off. He's
and the office number 718. 649-9495 if you need to reach us. And all my social media handles are available. Just do Chris Banks, City Council, Facebook, X, IG, TikTok. It's just like 5 or 6 of them that I'm.
Council member, you doing anything special for the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving and stuff like that? Maybe you might want to tell the people what you got coming on.
We will be doing turkey distributions to all portions of the district. We're hoping to give out about 2,000 turkeys, and we will be doing we're going to have a Halloween celebration. It's going to be a truck or treat where we're blocking off Vermont on Halloween from 2 to 6. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's going to be on Halloween 31st. And it's going to be on Vermont Street between Linden and Stanley. And we're going to have like 20 to 30 cars out there, DJ, bouncy houses, Halloween, everything themed. And then 6 p.m. at the Food Bazaar, in conjunction with Food Bazaar, we're going to be showing a movie, a Halloween movie, and be giving out candy. It's from 6 to 8 at the Food Bazaar on Linden Boulevard. So please stop on by, and if you have any questions or concerns, reach out to the office, 718-649-9495.
All right. So before you log off, I just want to say hi to Jeff for me. Jeff, I don't know if you know City Council member from the 42nd, Chris Banks. Jeff works with the New York Nets. I mean, he's the executive director for
Sports United.
Sports United.
Yeah.
Work with young people, WNBA, NBA, young people, kids, and stuff. Also work with the Brooklyn Nets. We'll do work with the Brooklyn Nets and their organization. I just want to say say hello before he logs off.
Pleasure to meet you, Jeffrey.
And I don't know if do you know each other, Jeff?
No, I never met Chris. I know Rita Joseph, and but I never met Chris.
Well, pleasure to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you too, man.
East Brownsville, Canarsie, and East Flatbush.
Right.
Got you. Copy that.
The only reason I wanted that because Jeff works directly with young people, Chris, especially for young people who love basketball.
Okay.
And that's where that connection. Just real brief, brief contact and let him know what you do, Jeff, real fast before he kicks off because he has to go.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you guys for having me on your platform. What I do, I host multiple after-school programs and basketball leagues and sports leagues on the weekends, Monday through Friday. On the weekends is our major basketball program where we currently host at Brooklyn College. We got 100 players coming in 9 a.m. every Saturday, playing basketball, learning the game of basketball, and then we form them into an in-house league. And some of the families, they get to if you make it to the championship, you get to go play on the Brooklyn Nets court or get some Brooklyn Nets incentives. Sometimes we try to give families tickets to go to the games, just to get them hyped up, just to give them some motivation to play ball. New York basketball is coming back. As you see, the Knicks is looking good. Hopefully the Nets could look good this season. I doubt it. But but we here though. We here though. At least one team's looking good.
I'm an old faithful, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll stay faithful, man. But we're just trying to serve the community, black, brown, everybody. Trying to just make everybody healthy. Pick up healthy habits. We started during the pandemic when we was on this Zoom and all these streaming platforms to do exercise, and I said, nah, we gotta get back to what we know, which is in-person interaction, playing ball, playing sports, living healthy lifestyles, and we've been rocking since 2021, 2025, and we just keep growing. So definitely want to spread the news of what we do.
What's the age group? What's the age group for the
and one guest wants to know, is it free?
So the age group for basketball, we start from as small as 6, and we go all the way up to the freshman year of high school, to the 9th grade. We don't have it for free because we're not like city funded or anything like that. We do charge parents, but it's not the prices that you think that other basketball programs charge. You know, we charge a very affordable fee because we still try to look out for the community and all the people in it.
Good. Good.
All right. Chris, I thank you. I mean, you want to stick around, or I know you had to go, but I don't know if you want to
No,
stick.
I'll stick around. I'll stick around till 9.
All right, no problem. So, Jeff, tell us what made you get started. Why the need? And hi, Dr. Brian, welcome. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching The Village. We have two dynamic young, and for me, I just love to see black men doing
Thank
their
you.
thing and being being positive. A lot of times, the media don't portray us as doing some positive stuff. So I love to see that with Jeff, with Chris. Both young, both in there, both doing their own thing. Chris is our city council member from the 42nd district, representing the eastern side of Brooklyn, East New York, Remsen Village, parts of Canarsie, Brownsville. He's on the ballot in November. We also have Jeff Beauchamp. Hopefully I pronounced that. Beauchamp. Hopefully I pronounced that.
It's
right.
all it's Beauchamp. Beauchamp.
Okay.
Beauchamp.
Are you Haitian?
I'm Haitian.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
Dr. Bryant. All right.
Yeah.
So talking about things that can be added to the kids and how our kids love basketball, getting involved. So is your program citywide, Brooklyn wide? And if I want to, we have basketball. That's the mainstay within our own ethnicity. How do kids get involved? And is it a Brooklyn-wide program? Can Chris get up and say, hey, a couple of parents call me. I would like to sponsor a couple of parents, or a couple of parents ask me, and I would like, how do they get involved? Really, Brooklyn-wide, talk to us in schools.
So to start off, I was a public school teacher for 7-8 years at PS 139. I was an elementary school public teacher. Actually started the first basketball team at that school. Actually went to that school when I was younger, so it was actually good giving back to the community and whatnot. So basically, when I kicked off the Sports United program, I was still working as a phys ed teacher. So the kids after school will come to the after school program that I have with Sports United, and they will rock with it. Eventually, they will tell their friends at other schools. And, I tell people all the time, man, like, you could have a million followers on Instagram, you could be in the news, you could be X, Y, and Z, but the word of mouth is still the most important thing
That's so true.
when it comes to promotion. So, the kids were telling their friends were telling their parents were telling the other parents, and that's how we kicked off. And we got to serve multiple schools, we got to serve multiple families, multiple communities. And like I said, we locked in Brooklyn College this semester, so which is like, a good spot for like a sub central spot for all families coming from wherever to meet us there and play the game of basketball. I had Miss Dr. Bryant's nephew this past summer in our program, and he definitely enjoyed
Actually,
it.
I think
So
he was on early. Actually, Jalen, he was on.
yeah, that's my guy. Jalen, that's my guy, man. But he was definitely there this summer. He enjoyed it. He was hooping, he was playing ball, and
He said he's
you
coming
know,
back next summer just for that
hey,
with his
we want.
sister.
With his sister, okay. No, but we love to make it happen. And plus, like, some basketball programs, and I'm not throwing shade to any other basketball programs, some basketball programs, they just want the kids to go play basketball no matter, if the kid is not too good, they just leave him to the side. With my basketball program, we work at all skill levels. We make sure that everybody elevates, everybody gets attention, and everybody has the essential tools to elevate their game and love the game of basketball, man. So that's what we do.
Council member, do you have because families come to me now for basketball, and I've been out of touch. I know I have Ditmas Park Classic, and I've done some work with some other basketball programs, and would love to come down and see your program, Jeff. But
Mhm.
do you have families? I know BRC used to have basketball there. Do the families still come to you for sports and activities for young
They
people?
they reach out. We actually sponsor a couple of basketball tournaments in the East. Um, I don't know if there's a popular basketball tournament in Gersh Park,
Yeah.
DP. We support his particular tournament, and there's a couple of tournaments, one in Pink Houses, one in Lion Park by the Banners that we actually fund. We don't support behind. So it's about close to 3 tournaments we support throughout the summer, and these are young folks. We even sometimes support classics. So any Roderick or John.
No, he's serious. He's dead serious because he does.
No.
Just a half course, not a full course. I don't think I can. I used to play ball back in the days too. I used to, but
I leave that up to my daughters, man. They play basketball.
Yeah.
One just finished playing college ball. The other one's a senior in high school. She's last year, so I'll leave it up to them.
I tell people, and I'll say it out loud, and my wife hates when I say it, but I beat Kobe. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Moving right along.
Wait. I beat Kobe. I beat Sebastian Telfair.
Okay.
But when I tell him that Kerry
In NBA 2K probably or something like that.
Hold on, but when I say Kerry Kittles dunked in my head, that's more believable. That's also true.
Jeff, you're gonna have to take over this conversation
Right.
because he's gonna keep going with everybody.
I'm in disbelief, man.
Okay, let me tell you, right? I went to school over here, right? I went to school in Haverford. I don't know if you know Philly area. So you have Villanova, Haverford, they're right next to each other. And Kobe went to school at Lower Merion.
Yeah, Lower Merion, yeah.
Right? I went to Haverford. So we would meet up at Ardmore Park or Baisley Park and we'd play ball. Now, at the time, I had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
Right? And, we're not friends. We didn't exchange numbers, all of that. You go to the park, you play ball, you meet somebody, and you balling. Right? So I don't know who he is. Right?
You want evidence.
I'm sorry. Had there been video cameras,
I actually want to hear the story. I'm actually listening.
So I actually bridged him too. I bridged him in the game. I could have been the end of Kobe's career. Right.
Oh
so was this a 1-on-1, 2v2?
The 1-on-1. Yeah, I beat him 1-on-1.
It was a 1v1. Oh.
Yeah, I beat him 1-on-1.
Interesting.
But in the regular game, we played at what the park called Baisley Park that we played at.
And how, if you don't mind me asking, how old were you and Kobe at the time?
This was 95.
95.
Yeah, so the year before you got drafted.
So it's like he 16, 17.
Yeah, 16, 17, yeah.
And you beat him 1-on-1.
Yeah. It might not be believable, right? But it is what it is.
Listen, the only thing is it is what it is, man. Like, he can't defend him. Kobe can't defend himself now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
but at the end of the day, right? What's funny is I played Sebastian Telfair too. I had no idea who he was.
Oh my God. Okay, Jeff, he's gonna play everybody. He's gonna say he played
No.
Every big player.
Wait, Jeff.
Hold
on, wait. One thing is what I'm proud of with your program, right? Which is why I'm glad to have it.
Yeah.
Where I went to high school and where I went to college, these were safe spaces. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like New York City where a player like Kobe Bryant, they're not coming out to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went to a safe area that people play basketball in. Your program provides a safe area
for sure.
Brooklyn College. So people are going to come out and play. You don't know who's who that you're playing against until maybe later on in life. Then you like, it's funny because I was talking to my boy. He comes to me all the time and he said to me, "Yo, that the FBI director, he and I were in class together." Right? You actually honestly don't necessarily, Chris, you know this. People are like, "Yo, I went to school with Chris Banks."
But right now we're asking Jeff about who he's playing with and who is he competing with in regards to who do you have. I know that we had a couple conversations about the adults playing because you mentioned. Can you elaborate on that?
So we also host an adult league for parents 40 and over. trying to run, trying to hoop on every Wednesday night from 5:45 to 7:30, and every Saturday morning from what's the time? From 9 to 11:30. So yeah, listen, if you want to come hoop, all right, and you want to
Roger
show
got
off
a lot
that,
of mouth
yeah,
too.
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
ball. You know I don't ball no
we
more.
need that. For the 40 and up crew, go get your runs in. It's a
That's good,
full
Chris. Chris,
court,
you
full
balling
court,
still?
twos and threes.
Chris, you still ball?
I can still ball. I mean, it's gotta, do something. I'll be
Wow.
good.
Nah, man. Listen, Chris, you gotta have that Roger confidence, man. You gotta say, yeah. You
Roger,
gotta.
I don't play ball no more, so it don't even
storyteller.
matter.
I don't think.
uh,
Well,
um,
let me ask you this, Jeff. Do you track the students where they come from in Brooklyn?
I mean,
East
I
residents, East Flatbush.
man, we get a lot of people, man. I have the addresses. Some of them are in the. A lot of them come from the Ditmas Park community. Some of
Okay.
them do. Some of them do travel from Brownsville. Some of them are coming from Sheepshed, but a lot of them is from the Ditmas Park area, and they like Brooklyn College because it's super close by. And like Roger said, yeah, it's safe. Even if it wasn't, even if it wasn't in Brooklyn College, wherever we're gonna host basketball, we're gonna know it's safe because of the program of what we offer. We have a strict discipline rules. We don't come in rowdy. We don't come in pants sagging, hoodies on. None of that. We have a structure of players that they gotta abide by, no matter what hood they come from. They gotta come in and they gotta play ball, and that's that. So but yeah, we got a lot of kids from different communities in Brooklyn.
And in the summertime, where do you run your tournaments?
So summertime, we give the kids a break from the tournaments. That's where most of the training happens. So
Right.
throughout the school year, that's when the tournaments are happening. During the summertime, that's when we give the kids a break and we're training them. That's why like Jalen was mostly training with me this summer, just trying to get right. So when the school year starts, he'd be straight.
Yeah, he's on a team. He's on a
Uh,
team.
hey, tell him, don't forget about me. He can always text me. And that's the thing too. Like a lot of kids, they train with me and they make their team automatically once they start the school year.
Mm.
Because we train them. I mean, I give them the court. I give them access. I give them the balls. I train them as much as possible. And the thing is, I let them play. I let them make mistakes. I let them learn from their mistakes. I let them try to be better than what they were yesterday. I'm trying to give them motivation. I feel like um I feel like in basketball, man, some coaching, they lost that real Brooklyn basketball coaching, like that grittiness. We lost that. Everybody's just wants to be, I don't want to say like quote unquote soft or gentle parenting with these kids, but for real basketball, you got to push these kids, for them to be great. And we've been getting some good results with our players coming in and coming out.
Your league is with these kids, and again, just we're talking to Jeff, executive director of Sports United, and also with City Council member Chris Banks on the Village Radio Talk Show. So thank you so much for joining us. So you're saying that your program is year round with the kids,
Year round.
and so when do you start? When do you start the competitive component that they start creating like leagues within Brooklyn
hmm
College? What are the
So
days? What does that look like?
So let's say, all right, so example, this fall we have a league. We started 3 weeks ago, right? Or no, we started 2 weeks ago. So by the fourth or fifth week of the season, after we done got all our training in, practices in, that's when we start the league at the fifth week of the season, and then for the fifth week of the season, we do the league for the rest of the season, which was like 4 more weeks.
And how many teams and what are the games like? What is the schedule? What days of the week, et cetera? Y and Z. All
It
the
depends.
details.
Yeah, it all depends on how many kids we got. So right now we break them up into groups. We got our beginner levels, we got our intermediate levels, we got our advanced level. In the beginner levels, they don't do any tournaments because they still learning, so they need to get the skills right. Intermediate level, which is from ages 7 to 10, that's when they do tournaments. So let's say we got 40 kids in that class. We split them up, you know, we have 6 kids on each team or 7 kids on each team. We'll make 5, 6 teams and they go against each other. Same thing for the advanced class. Let's say we got 60 kids in that class. We split them all into teams. They go against each other. Everybody make playoffs. And then we have a championship game at the Barclays.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jalen's on. He's saying hi, coach, to you. How are you doing? So, he's like,
Hey, Jalen. Hey, coach. Hey, what's going on, Jalen? How you doing, man?
all right. Kids want to get involved. How do they do that?
Like I said, we take all skill level. We don't shy away from anybody at the door. We don't push anybody away. Uh, we take all skill levels, but they got to know what level they're at. So if you're a beginner, you want to sign up for the beginner class. If you feel like you can play ball and you can start competing, and you're in an elementary school, then you sign up for the intermediate class. If you're in middle school and you played ball before and you're learning and you feel like you compete, then you sign up for the advanced class. And we host every Saturday, and we go from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. During that duration, you got to pick which hour to choose from, depending on what your skill level and what your age is, and we go from there, man. And as soon as you get in, it's real intense. We don't waste time because we don't want to waste time. We only got Brooklyn College for 3.5 hours, so we want to make sure that we utilize all the time we have.
Sorry. Basketball is my thing, so I love it. So I have to ask questions to young people.
Nah, for sure. Ask as many questions you want.
They to get them involved. The 4 weeks, at the end of the 4 weeks, is
Yeah.
when the marketing come in, and then you start a new season. Or do kids just show up at Brooklyn College? Do they call a website? Do they call a phone number? What information do you give to Councilmember Banks that he could give to his community to say, hey, this is how you reach out or get that post
So.
Any social media?
website? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So we have a website. It's called www.sportsunitedny.org. Once you go on the website, you go to the programs, and then it shows multiple programs of what we do. You're gonna click the Fall 2025 Basketball League, which is eventually going to turn into the Winter 2026 Basketball League, because right now we're sold out. So they click on the website, they register. Once they register, they'll get an email confirmation. The confirmation explains all the information of what time the games are, what we're doing, what the practice are. It gives you a full schedule of what we do this season. And at the end of the season, whoever is the winner of the championship game, we either do the championship game or Barclays. This season, what we're doing, we're gonna host our championship game at Brooklyn at the new. We're gonna host our championship game at the new Brooklyn basketball facility, which
Oh,
is
on
across the street.
Atlantic?
Yeah, yeah, on Atlantic Avenue, where
That Bush?
where Modell's used to be.
Right. The
Yeah, the old.
website, you're asking for the website again? Can you
Oh,
repeat it?
can I type it? Is there a way I can type it here?
You can at the bottom of the screen to the right, you
Yeah,
type it in.
I'm typing it right now. It's www.sportsunitedny.org.
How is the new basketball court,
It's
Modell?
pretty. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. The AC booming in there. It's mad cold in there. Uh, they got nice hoops, and they got the hoops where you shoot and the ball bounce come right back to you like a little training center. It's real nice. It's real kid friendly. Real training friendly. It's a superb hoop court. I went there the first day for the opening night. It was special. So I would say you guys should definitely check it out.
Which is nice because the thing is, we had to go all the way to Jersey to go where some of the basketball players train.
Hmm.
And that's a nice location, but looking forward to checking out the
You know,
Atlanta
it,
It's
Flatbush.
central too.
Nah, for sure, for sure.
Right.
I'm glad you stated about the safety component and the public piece. Going to Brooklyn College, a nice, safe environment. We'd love to have some of your kids playing at our Ditmas Park Classic over there in Ditmas that council member alluded to next spring. So make
Hmm.
sure that we get you in touch with our Ditmas Park Classic, and so the kids can play. We're always looking for opportunities. Tell us about women. I think we have time,
Exactly. We've been talking about that.
right? Women. You didn't talk about
Yeah.
the female component. Do you have a lot of females?
Yeah,
Just
for sure. So last night I just hosted our all girls basketball component. I had a lot of so basketball when we did co-ed, but I felt like the girls needed their own space. They needed their
All
own
right
space to
now.
be them and whatnot, and I felt like they needed to be coached by a female too. So I hired one of my old co-workers that I used to work with. Her name is Kendra Williams. She's an NCAA championship for D1. I forgot what school she played for, but she's a great fit. So we have an all girls component every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We got a lot of girls in the program. I'm a father of 2 daughters, so I wanted to make sure that I give girls the space to be themselves, play like themselves, and not have to worry about whatever girls worry about. So it's definitely good. It's definitely successful. We have a lot of girls in the program, and we look forward to more girls joining in the future.
All right. I appreciate Chris. You have any last questions for him? Because we got to wrap up. I just realized we ran out of.
I got some website information. Sounds like your program is pretty good, and you're doing what God got you doing. So that's a good thing, bro.
Any questions?
Right.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's all good.
We're good. I think a lot of people have different, and I so appreciated basketball is one of the lover for young people. When you sit down in phys ed class and you ask a kid what sport you play, almost every kid raised their hand for basketball.
Almost every kid plays for basketball. Even if they don't know how to play basketball, they want to play basketball.
Yeah, they play, right?
You know why I appreciate this? I do appreciate it, not only because children love it, but I actually had to experience the opposite of that. Where a young person from my church got murdered on the basketball court outside in the summer. So having a safe place for them to be and just to be surrounded with all different cultures, that's so important.
Yeah, for sure. My condolences to that family.
Everybody. And just knowing that, hey, if you send your child somewhere, you're going to get them back in one piece.
Yeah, so for sure.
And that's what I learned with. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, I said nowadays safety is everything, man. And given that,
I think Chris, you on mute?
No, he's.
I can hear.
And I said giving young folks that safe space so that they can just have activity, because we know we've been seeing a lot of situations where young folks are going into spaces and they're not coming out, or something when they leave that space. They're not getting home. Chris. Can you hear me? Oh,
yeah.
Can y'all hear me? I can hear him. You can hear him.
You guys can hear him. I can hear him. I don't know why.
Okay. I can hear him.
Okay, maybe I didn't pay my phone bill. Maybe I don't know.
But you are right.
I'm all right.
I just want to shout out Eddie Gentile real fast before we're done. Eddie Gentile, we were together when we created the New York City champion at my 11 basketball team back in 2000, I think it's 2006, 2007. And eventually Terrence Samuels, who went on to win a national championship for UConn. So he was one of mine. Youth basketball, very, very important. Very important for every kid. I want to thank both of you gentlemen for joining us today on the Village Radio Talk Show. I hope everyone.
And I want to say something. Thank you, Councilman Banks, for always coming out. I remember when you were running originally, you were here, you stayed committed, and you're advocating constantly. So all the best during election time, and continue to do what you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you again, guys, for having me on.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, viewing, participating in the Village Radio Talk Show. We're pleased continue to like, subscribe, and share. With that, have a great evening to each and every one of you. And again, thank you, gentlemen. Sports United, Jeff Beauchamp, and
for sure,
City Council member from the 42nd Councilmatic District in Brooklyn, Christopher Banks. God bless. Have a great day.
And happy birthday, Carla, our faithful listener.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't remember if I mentioned her. Yes. All right. Good night.
Have a good one. Good night.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.